welcome back to the story of the song, where I tell you the inspiration behind a song and then I show you how I recorded it. Today we're going to be talking about a song called Simply Obsessed. This song began as a melody and a lyric in my head when I was on a walk. I was walking down the street and I started singing the chorus. You're a star I can speak to. I wish you could see you in the light that I do. I'm simply obsessed with your mischievous smile, and you walk like a tile. I think the phrase simply obsessed was something that had been bouncing around in my head, and I thought it would be a cute thing to say. And I had just figured out this technique for recording where I will find the melody and then sing it to a click, and then I'll write the chords around it. So I knew that it was possible to take this exact same melody and then just build the music around it. So I wrote that little part, and then I kept thinking about it, and I really wanted to make a song that was just full on fun and full of love and positive, because I make a lot of music that is positive in the sense that it's like maybe cathartic for me to write it, and hopefully for the listeners, but I wanted to make something that was just fully posy because I haven't made music like that in a while. I wrote the second half of the chorus. For the verse, I started thinking about when I'm watching my bride get dressed before we go out to a show. She's like trying on different outfits, and it's just cute, and I wanted to make a song that hopefully gives you that feeling of when you're getting ready to go out and you're like feeling cool and feeling sexy and feeling cute. I really, as I said, wanted to focus on making a song that felt good to listen to and made you feel good and feel empowered in yourself. So when I had written the chorus with the music around the vocals, I had used a synth, which I'll show you when we go into the session. And then for the verse, I just kind of took whatever key I was in with that synth and then changed it a little bit just to build that. And then the second verse, which is also, I guess, like the bridge, just focusing more on positivity and happiness and love. So that's the story of the inspiration of the song, and then let me show you the session where I made it. Okay, so here we have the session. So as I said, it started with just this to the click. You're a star I can speak to. I want you to see you. And then, after listening to that, I just put down these piano chords. You're a star I can speak to. I want you to see you in the light that I do. I'm simply obsessed. So the way I did that was I literally just pulled up this piano roll and just started placing MIDI. Like I would find the root note and then I would just build the chord around it. And then, as I said, for the verse, I just took those chords and just moved them a little bit. Dancing circles around the bedroom, getting dressed to go to the venue. So it was all built like that with the piano. And then I had this drum beat, which is these really cool drum samples I have from this Casio keyboard sample pack. The original version had this crazy arpeggiated bass. Which I actually really liked, but it sounded a little too new wave to fit in with the rest of the album. And I think even still, the final recording of it is a little bit more new wave than anything else on the record, but the arpeggiated bass like really put it over the edge as far as that vibe goes. Like, I'll let you hear what that sounds like with that bass. I knew that the bass had to change, so I muted the bass. I tried to play a little bit of bass on my own, and it just sounded mid. So I went to the studio with Derek, and we had Nate play over my drum machine. So the drum machine is still going throughout the whole song, but Nate added some really interesting fills and just added more humanness to the rhythm. And then Braden redid the bass, and he really crushed it on the bass. He really was in the bass zone. I have this fun lead synth here, matching the melody of the verses. My heart skips to your heart's tune. Your love song finally come true. That's something that I started doing on That Shit Is Over Now, on Light Is Gone Too. I think that's a really cool way to spice up a verse. And then, this is probably my favorite part of the song, is this sort of like bells and chimes melody in the bridge. I love those. They feel so dreamy and nostalgic to me. And these sounds came from this plugin that is free. It's the BBC Symphony Orchestra plugin. So I would recommend anyone who produces music to go download that, because the sounds are great. They have really good pianos and stuff on there too. So I guess one of them is a Celeste and one of them is a bell. That's pretty much the session. Obviously this is my session, so this is before I took it to Derek's studio. Derek mixed it, it made it sound way sicker, and the real drums and the real bass made it a lot more dynamic and thick, and also fit into this record the best way that it possibly could. So that's the story of the song, Simply Obsessed. If you haven't heard the album, it is out now. It's called Surrender Instead. Simply Obsessed is track 3. I'm going to post a acoustic version of Simply Obsessed next week, and I'll keep doing these Story of the Songs until I get through the whole album. Thank you for listening, and I'll see you then.